You're watching The End Zone, sponsored by Brahms.
Welcome to another edition of The End Zone. I am Colby Daniels, along with my co-host Camyrn Johnson, and joining us this week from 107.7 The Franchise, he is Matt Burton. Guys, what a week we are getting ready to have, right? I mean, football all over the place. Oklahoma's 3-0, ranked just outside the top 10, and they're facing number 22 Auburn, the return of Jackson Arnold to Norman, Oklahoma. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this.
It certainly doesn't, man. From the troubles, we'll call them, of last year, the quarterback that was kind of spearheading the worst offense in OU history is on the other sideline. I mean, there's no other bigger narrative than that right there.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those instances where the game itself is entertaining. It's going to be fun to watch. One of the top offenses against one of the top defenses. But then you add in that element of Jackson Arnold coming back in Norman. I mean, that's a game that I just know is going to be so fun to just take in.
You think about the matchup last year, Oklahoma goes on the road, Jackson Arnold was benched, right? Michael Hawkins gets the start. Oklahoma comes from behind in the fourth quarter. The Kip Lewis pick six ultimately puts them over the top. I mean, it was a wild game. And then Michael Hawkins had a couple weeks of starting quarterback play before Jackson Arnold comes back in. And, we all know what happened against Missouri, and then they get the Alabama win, and it was just kind of a wild roller coaster ride. That game last year was a lot of fun. Both teams are much, much better than they were a year ago. And despite, I think, what an interesting matchup this is, the Jackson Arnold storyline has absolutely put a cloud over what the rest of this matchup is, which is unfortunate. But guess what? We're going to fall into the same trap because we have to talk about Jackson Arnold coming back to Norman. And we got to hear from Brent Venables talking about Jackson Arnold coming back to Norman and what he sees from the quarterback of the Auburn Tigers.
I think he's the same guy. I think he's got a healthy football team around him. And he's having great success running, throwing, being really efficient. He's taking care of the ball, and the people around him are good. Can't play quarterback by yourself, right?
Two things there. First of all, he said, can't play quarterback by yourself. I mean, we understand that. I don't know if it matters who played quarterback for this team a year ago with all the receiver injuries, the offensive line issues. Not many people were going to have success on a consistent basis with what the offense was a year ago. That said, he also said no turnovers so far this year, right? Jackson Arnold had a lot of turnovers last year. And look, Michael Hawkins did as well, right? But that's probably the biggest thing is he's taking care of the ball so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting part about that, like he's the same guy, quote, got a lot of play. But, I mean, I think he followed it up. I don't think it was really a dig. It was just, hey, this is kind of what we expected Jackson to look like if the circumstances around him were a lot better. So, I mean, he's done a lot better job this year, watching some of the Auburn games against South Alabama, Baylor, taking care of the football, man. That's kind of all OU fans were asking for last year, and it couldn't happen. But I'm looking forward to OU defense hasn't forced a turnover yet this year, and Jackson Arnold hasn't turned it over. It feels like something is due there.
Yeah, it's one of those things in the new world of football. I feel like, it's a fun thing from a fan standpoint to have your former quarterback come back, antagonize him a little bit. But, I mean, like Brent Venables said, it's all love, and, sometimes you have to go to a different place to really find your success. That said, it's going to be fun to watch, especially, the conversation with John Mateer on the other side of the ball. He mentions you can't be quarterback on your own. With the offensive,
this one is going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if they're going to try to let Jackson do something big early on and maybe shake off the jitters, or if they ease him into the game. Maybe they try to run the ball out of the gate and don't put too much on his plate until he settles into the game. Either way, he's going to face, by far, the best defensive front that he's seen this entire year. He's going to face a defensive coordinator that knows what he struggled with a year ago, and simultaneously, I don't think he's the same guy that he was a year ago. There is no way you deal with the adversity that he dealt with last season, and you don't in some way grow from it. So I do think that mentally he's got to be on another level from where he was. Does that level supersede what the OU defense is going to put on the field on Saturday? That's where I maybe have hesitation.
Right. I mean, confidence is a very powerful thing. And it looks like Jackson Arnold is playing with a ton of confidence right now. Not so much through the air yet. He's kind of been, just through the air, done what he's been asked to, which hasn't been a whole hell of a lot right now. So we will see. I mean, I don't know. I'm expecting a lot of run game. I feel like this might be the Michigan game 2.0.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned you don't go through that kind of adversity and not grow from it. Not that the defense defense was pretty good last year, but I mean, they also look super stout right now, one of the top in the country. So it's kind of like both teams have also gotten a little bit better. So I don't know. I mean, how Jackson Arnold will look against, like you said, that's going to be one of his first real tests this season. So we'll see how good both sides really are.
It's going to be a great game. You mentioned the pass rush from Auburn. The offensive line struggles maybe for Oklahoma. John Mateer obviously is going to be a big X factor for the Sooners. I spoke with Todd McShay from The Ringer earlier this week, who has done nothing but rave about Mateer since the beginning of the season. And here were some of his comments on the quarterback and what Sooner fans are going to experience with John Mateer all season long.
Watching him last year, right, and watching him in that same offensive system with Arbuckle, who comes over as the offensive coordinator, like, it is a wild ride, man. It's like an experience, right? And there's some bad with the good, and you've seen a little bit of that, so far early in the season. But man, does the good outweigh the bad, and the exciting plays and the tempo, the aggressiveness, the competitiveness that he has. I love the way he plays the game. There's going to be some aggressive mistakes, but there's so many aggressive plays that he makes that other quarterbacks around the country are not providing for their offense and for their football team, that when it all shakes out at the end of the game, it's worth it. And it's a roller coaster, and it's not good for your heart. And I'm sure as an OU fan, like, you're going to have moments where you like want to rip your hair out. This guy works as hard as anyone out there. He cares as much, and you can see it in his play, but you hear reports from people in the building. He puts in more time and effort and commitment to this football team and to his brothers that he's playing with, and to what the end goal is than you could ever imagine. And so it's just fun to see on Saturdays when he gets to just go out and do his thing.
I think he nailed it with the aggressiveness. John Mateer is ultra aggressive. He's going to take some risks that maybe other guys don't. There will be mistakes, but the good will by far outweigh the bad, and I think that's what we've seen so far. All right, we've got to take a timeout. Matt Burton from 107.7 The Franchise is joining us, along with Camyrn Johnson. I am Colby Daniels. It's Name That Sooner coming up on the other side of the break next here on The End Zone. Welcome back to the show, along with Camyrn Johnson. I'm Colby Daniels. Matt Burton with 107.7 The Franchise is our guest. All right, we're going to play a little game that I like to call Name That Sooner. So we're going to throw up a graphic. You're going to see the player bio for a specific Sooner, and you are going to tell me how to pronounce their last name, because I was going through the media guide, and there were some names that I stumbled upon. So I want to see if you guys are as bad as I was in trying to name some of these. So, Matt, we're going to go with you first.
Okay.
So this is a linebacker, junior, number 7. What is this man's last name?
That is Sammy Omosigo.
That's how I would say it.
All right, let's see what you got. Omosigo, you nailed it. Sammy Omosigo, well done. All right, Camyrn, we've got one of the offensive linemen for the Sooners. He is the starting right guard, Fabechi. What are you going with here?
I'm going to go, is this one of those things where the N is silent? I'm going to say Waiwu or why?
Okay, that's close.
Yeah.
That's close. Let's see what we got. Fabechi Wiwu.
Okay, so that was my initial thought, but the AI made me think why, but hey.
Until I heard someone else say it, I was not aware of the pronunciation of that one. So, yeah, that's a tough one.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, this one, Matt, you might know.
I knew this was coming.
You might know.
This is Adi Bowerway.
Okay.
Adi Bawore.
Oh man. Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, it was close.
I've listened. I'm going to blame PJ on this. Okay. I've listened to him pronounce his own name multiple times.
Oh, you're just doing the accent then, maybe.
So I'm just
Yeah,
I'm just doing that.
I'm just doing that.
You're using his accent
I'm
as
shifting
part of it.
blame. I'm shifting blame.
All right, let's stay on the defensive line because this one is also one that tripped me up.
Okay, let's see. Loloea.
Close. It is Lolohea.
Okay.
Lolohea.
Okay.
I thought it would be Lolohia, but yeah. I mean, you were really close.
I'll
All
take
right,
it.
Camyrn, this is one I would assume you already know.
Oh, okay.
Matt, one of the new wide receivers
Yes.
from Arkansas.
I've heard it, Isaiah Satania.
Yep.
I think you nailed it.
Yep.
Nice.
Satania.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I
The
remember.
G is silent.
I remember when I first heard that name, everyone, even the coaches were calling him Sategna, and
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
was like, how do you actually say it? And then,
I just called him the transfer from Arkansas for most
Fair
of
enough.
the summer.
That works.
So,
That
yeah,
works.
there you go. All right, starting center, Troy Everett now out for the season. Jake, who is now the starting center?
let's go with Michaela.
Michaela, it is. You
Heck
nailed
yeah.
it. I thought maybe it was like Michaela or something strange like that, but Michaela. You
Again,
nailed
it's
it.
the AI
You
that gave it
nailed
away.
it.
It's like,
Absolutely.
my.
All right, another offensive lineman for the Sooners. I believe he's a true freshman. Matt, what do you got on Ryan?
I got Ryan Fojay.
That is it, Ryan Fojay.
Well done.
The D is silent. Lots of silent
yes.
letters in the on the Sooner roster. All right, another offensive lineman, Camyrn. This is another one of the guards.
Immediately, I go Ozeta.
Close.
But I don't feel like that's right.
Very close. Heath Ozaida.
Oh, so the one time it's
Yeah,
my
the one time.
my
Yeah.
The one time
strategy.
you
I
don't
don't
go that
follow
way.
it.
Heath Ozaida. All right, really quickly, Matt. Defensive back from Choctaw, Reed who?
I think that's Reed DeQuazy.
That is Reed DeQuazy.
Yes.
Correct. All right,
That's
and
a
let's
fun
close it
name.
out. Final one. Camyrn, what do you got for one of the other offensive linemen? Daniel who?
I feel like I'm breaking this up too much, and it's probably more fluid. But let's go, Aiken Kunmai. I don't know.
Thanks to Giannis Antetokounmpo, I feel like I can do this one a little better.
Okay.
Akin Kunmi. I tripped over my own words.
You got
See,
too
even when you're
confident.
looking at it, it can be difficult. So anyway, that's a little game I like to call Name That
Yes.
Sooner
That's fun.
on this edition of The End Zone. All right, Matt's in the hot seat. It's Moving the Chains next. All right, welcome back to the show. It is time for Moving the Chains. Matt Burton from 107.7 The Franchise is our guest. Matt is no stranger to Moving the Chains. You've done this twice now, so this is trip number 3 to Moving the Chains. The first time was probably the closest we've
Yeah.
ever been to somebody not, in fact, moving the chains. So you did redeem yourself.
I did, but first
the second
impressions
time
are
around, but
everything.
First impressions
you know,
last
yeah.
a long, long time, so hopefully we can put that in the rearview mirror. All right, 1st and 10. Should OU fans boo Jackson Arnold? I've heard this debated all week long.
Right. Yes. He is the opposing quarterback coming into Owen Field. Yeah, you boo the opposing team.
Yeah, it's kind of like the storming the field thing. It's like, oh, act like you've been here before, be classy, but it's fun. I'm going to go, let's go pick up a 4 on that one.
Okay, I like
it.
it. Like, I don't think you have to necessarily just be like, oh, look, it's Jackson Arnold. Boo!
Right.
Yeah.
But you're not going to cheer for the opposing
No.
quarterback, and if he's
Right.
doing something, you're going to be like, no, I'm not rooting for that guy. Like,
Exactly.
You can root for him after the game's over. You can hope that he has a great career, but if he's playing your team, you don't root for that guy.
This isn't the Dallas
It's like when
Mavericks.
Russell Westbrook
Yeah.
was here with the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs, and
Yeah.
people were like, I want to see Russ have success.
Right.
No! He's playing against your team. That's so insane to me. All right, 2nd and what, 6?
Second and
All right,
six.
2nd and 6. Start one, bench one, cut one. Nico Iamaleava, DJ Lagway, Arch Manning.
Okay. I think I have to cut Nico Iamaleava. We got to cut him. I will bench Arch Manning, and I'll start DJ Lagway. I know he had a rough one. I mean, 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions. But that dude is still, 7-2 now overall, I believe, as a starter at Florida. Kind of saved Billy Napier's job last year, throughout the end of last year. So I'm still kind of a DJ Lagway believer, even though that stock is way down right now. 5 interceptions.
5 interceptions.
Yeah, I think the only difference I go is maybe start Arch. I mean, they're both, I don't know.
They're undefeated.
I'll go-
I mean,
You got
Texas
the-
is
I
undefeated.
think we all agree you got the cut right, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nico, I'm sorry.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's go gain of 3.
Okay.
All right, there we
That's
go.
fine.
3rd
Yeah.
and manageable, right?
Yeah.
3rd and 3. All right, there have been 21 quarterbacks that have started a game for Oklahoma since 2000. Only or actually I should ask, how many of those guys have only played at OU?
Have only played at OU. Wow. Okay. So since
no
2000.
Since 2000. There have
Since
been
2000.
21
All
starters.
right. Jason White, Sam Bradford, Nate Hibble.
No.
Oh, Nate Hibble
Nate
played
Hibble
somewhere.
started at
Is it-
Georgia before he
Okay.
came to
Okay. All
Oklahoma.
right. There we go. See, I was a little lad
Yeah,
whenever
yeah.
Nate Hibble was taking snaps. Man, how many? I mean, it hasn't been one since what, Landry? Right? Like,
gonna say-
like, has there been one since Landry that just started a game?
A few.
A few. Really?
A few. Huh. All right, you ready for the list?
I'm ready.
All right, Jason White,
Yeah.
Paul Thompson,
Yep.
Sam Bradford, Landry Jones, Blake Bell,
Right. Yeah. Blake Bell.
Cody Thomas,
Yep.
and Michael Hawkins.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
That's really.
But
really
14 of
good.
the 21 quarterbacks to start a game at OU since 2000 are guys that either transferred from somewhere else to Oklahoma
Yeah.
or played at OU and then went somewhere else. It's
I know.
pretty crazy. I mean, you think that the portal thing is like
Right.
a new thing, but it's been going on. I mean, 14 of
I mean,
21 is
that's-
a big, big number.
I was expecting you to
Yeah.
keep reading names off longer than you did, for sure.
All right, what are we going with?
Well, how many of those did you get? Like
Three?
four,
I
three,
think you got
three, or
Three,
four?
yeah, something like that.
I mean, that's pretty
not
solid.
bad.
I'll give you the first down on
Okay,
that one.
first
thank you.
down.
Let's
There
go.
you All right, now
Yeah.
you're playing with house money. So one more before we get out of here. Replace your hands with kitchen utensils. What are your selections?
Okay, fork, I think for sure has to be one of them.
Okay,
Right,
fork?
a fork on one hand. Okay, just fork on one
I
hand.
mean, if you want to go double forks, you could.
Good double forks. Let's see, fork and a steak knife, man. Fork
Okay.
and a steak knife.
Okay. The only thing you might run into is if you need like liquids. I don't know, but I mean, you're gonna have that issue no matter what.
yeah,
There's
that's
gonna be
true.
something wrong. I mean, that's the basics.
Yeah.
Let's just pick up a 3.
That's good.
All
Hey,
right, there you
I'll
go.
take
I
that.
mean,
We'll
there's-
take that.
there's a lot of room
Give
for
me a
debate.
knife and a ladle, and I feel like I will have
yeah.
everything that
You
I need
can-
to accomplish. I can stab food, put it in my mouth if I need to with the knife. So.
You should have gone sport.
And if somebody attacks me,
Should've gone sports.
I'm coming
You're
out
right.
there as well. All right, we've got to take a timeout. Game picks on the other side of the break. This is the End Zone.
Time now for the Brahms in the Bag Pick of the Week.
All right, it's time for game picks. Hopefully you guys are more successful than the start of my game picking season. It's been a complete disaster, so my apologies to the 5 teams that I'm going to pick today. Hopefully I can buck the trend. Some people are calling this the game of the weekend. 2 undefeated teams ranked in the Big 12, Tech at Utah.
I'm going Utah on this one. I think the home field advantage, it will be a close one, but I think that Utah is just, they've got the slight advantage, and sometimes gut feeling instinct takes over. That's where I'm at.
I like the home field advantage. I'm going Texas Tech plus 3.5 though. The half point I think is doing a lot for me right there. And Texas Tech spent a lot of money on this defense, and they have looked really good so far. So I'm going with the Red Raiders.
Either great minds or terrible minds think alike, because I'm with you on the half point. The hook got me on the Tech side. I think these are 2 really close teams, and I'm taking the points in this matchup. I think it's a really close matchup. All right, game number 2, South Carolina questionable with Lenora Sellers at Missouri.
Yeah, so this is all if Lenora Sellers plays into his ability. I think Missouri wins this one, but I think South Carolina makes it closer than people are expecting. And the Gamecocks are 4-0 recently against ranked opponents in the regular season. We'll see if they can keep that up. But yeah, I think they keep it close. Missouri wins.
I'm going Missouri. It feels like soap is in my mouth saying this, but I think Eli Drinkwitz has a pretty good team this season. Amada Hardy leading the SEC in rushing. I mean, he has looked really good, the transfer from ULM. So give me the Tigers.
Missouri at home, maybe the surprise of the SEC. Give me the Tigers, and like Camyrn, I'm basing that on Lenora Sellers maybe not being 100% or not playing. So we'll see how that ultimately shakes out. Another big matchup in the Big 12, Arizona State at Baylor.
I think this one comes down to Arizona State having a really good run game and Baylor not having the greatest run defense. I mean, it is going to be a little closer, but I'm going Sun Devils.
I'm going Baylor in this one, minus 2.5 at home. Arizona State, I'm sorry, you cannot lose to Mississippi State and have me take you seriously.
You lost to Mississippi State, and you're going to Baylor, who I think is actually much better than maybe they've played so far. So give me the Bears at home as well, minus 2.5. All right, Florida, after the DJ Lagway 5 interception game at Miami.
Yeah, Miami comfortably, I think. I'm surprised that I would imagine this spread being a little bit bigger, even so. I think Miami, you're looking more at a 2-touchdown win, possibly.
This one I'm a little shakier on just because Florida, I mean, they should have lost by a lot more than they did to LSU. That defense is really working, but Miami's looked really, really good so far.
I've doubted Miami so far. I'm jumping on the Cane train. Hurricanes big. All right, OU hosting Auburn.
Yeah, I think there's just too much right in the way of the Sooners. This being a home game with Jackson Arnold back, they're going to make it really tough for him to do anything. So I think OU wins this one by a touchdown at least.
I simply don't think Brent Venables can lose this game with Jackson Arnold on the other sideline. Sooners by 6, by at least a touchdown.
Close game. You said Michigan 2.0 earlier in the show. I completely agree with that. Low-scoring game. Sooners separate late, and they hold Jackson Arnold below his averages. All right, that is it for us. Everyone have a great weekend. We'll see you next week here on The End Zone.